everyone, and welcome back. We are starting to get all of my super sweet 100s and my sun golds into the garden. As you can see, I already have a handful in. It has been raining on and off today, so unfortunately I haven't been able to record it, but I figured since it's a light drizzle right now, I would show you the roots of one of my super sweet 100s, how big it is, and how I plan on planting it into the ground. And hi, if you're new here, my name is Christy. I am located in Massachusetts, zone 6A, with an average last frost date of May 15th. And we have a lot to do. So today is Sunday, and I plan on this Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So Monday and Tuesday will be after I get home from work, is getting my tomatoes and my peppers in, because Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday, we are getting more rain, and these are getting so root bound. I feel like there's basically no dirt or soil. They need to be in the ground. They have been hardening off for about 3 or 4 days. The past 2 days they have been out all day. Yesterday they were out in full sun. Today was supposed to be sunny, and it has literally been cloudy and cold. It is getting cooler in the nights. It'll be down to 45, 48 degrees, which will be fine for the tomatoes. Not great for my peppers. However, with my peppers, I have been hardening them off as well for the past few days. They should be good to go. Ideally, I would wait until it's in the upper 50s and 60 degrees at night, but I really need my greenhouse to get all of my dahlias and zinnias. I need to get those out on Memorial Day weekend. I still need to finish tilling and get all my cut flowers out, because we are at the home stretch. It's almost June. So anyways, I started getting these super sweet 100s in. This side is super sweet 100, the other side will be sun gold, and they're going to go over a whole entire cattle panel, which I used as a trellis last year. I put these very close together. Now, these garden beds are about 3 picket fences deep, plus they are able to go into my natural soil as well. I do have a very fine mesh at the bottom because we did have voles a few years ago. I haven't seen anything really coming up and no slugs yet, so maybe that's great. These will be trained to go up and over the cattle panel, so I just want to show you how I get them into the beds, what I amend them with. This bed already has worm castings and new compost and a fresh layer in between the old and new soil of some dead leaves. So let me show you what they look like, because I'm super excited to get them in. Now, we started these tomatoes back on Valentine's Day, which I will tell you, I feel like is so early. I will not be doing that again. I probably will wait till the first week of March. However, I have been able to keep them pretty happy. Now, look at how tall this is. This is probably, I would say, at least 3 feet tall. I have been using, if you can see, they're like little craft sticks that I just masking tape. So this one has 3 craft sticks, and as it grew, I would just tie it up to another craft stick. And they are already flowering, and they have some little tomatoes on. They got a little bit sun damaged, I would say, yesterday, because it was actually 80 degrees. But other than that, they have been fine. And they're really big, so I don't feel too bad putting them out after about 3 or 4 days of being outside for full days. I think they should be good. So I just wanted to show you the roots. They are coming out so much right now. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tease it. I'm gonna leave this stake in for now, and then hopefully tomorrow I will untie them and then tie them better to the cattle panel. But look at these roots. They are extremely root bound. There is like barely any soil, but I'm just going to gently tease them, and I feel like no matter how much I have been watering them, they are just not keeping the moisture in. So I'm gonna tease this. I'm going to dig, I have one more spot over here, and the rest of my super sweets will actually go over here, and I will do a Florida weave to keep them up, and I'll show you what my other ones look like. It'll probably be a mix of, I think I have a few salad tomatoes, some mini cherries, and then I have these. So I tease this, and then actually let me just place this down quick. And then I always, when I am planting, I put this bone meal into the hole, just a little sprinkle, so that way it'll have some nutrients in there. But I put it with everything. I put it with all my vegetables. So far it's only been tomatoes. I need to get my peppers in. I have so many peppers. So again, I make sure I try and see where it's leaning. I want it to lean towards, and I'm going to get that in and then literally just backfill it. And tomorrow, like I said, I will come back in and I try and just have it hook into the cattle panel, and I will train it to go up. And then once it starts getting to the top, I will actually get a stool and bend it back down. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 super sweet 100s right here, which normally I would say they're way too close, but I just have so many and I don't want to get rid of them. So I backfilled, and I will give everything a good water. I already watered these in. As you can see, a couple of them have a little bit of sun damage, but other than that, they are flowering. And I also need to get them out of my greenhouse because I had a little honeybee coming in, getting all the pollen from the flowers and starting to create honeycombs or some kind of combs in my greenhouse. So I needed to evict these out also ASAP. Again, so I'm gonna just do a few more in this bed right here. I still have some I have to harden off that's in my main bedroom, but I do have the stakes right here. I won't be able to Florida weave them quite yet, but that's okay. So I'm gonna have this bed as a mix of super sweets, and I have a few extra sun golds. I have a lot of sun golds, but I am super excited about that. So again, I will be probably spacing these ones a little more. I probably will do about 8 inches. Normally you might want to do a little bit more. I do heavily prune them once they get a little bit more established. But last year I think I had 12 or more actually in the bed, and they were totally fine, and they were producing into the fall, which is great. So I'm gonna pull it out. Again, we have a very nice root system. I used an arts and crafts stick to get these so they can hopefully stay upright. I will be using my bone meal, sprinkling it in, and then burying it still with the craft stick. And then I will take that out later. And if they were a little bit smaller, I might bend the stem so it can be a little bit deeper. But because these roots are so established and the stem is actually really thick, I don't mind leaving them up. So I'm going to just leave my cup here, and I will write a tag afterwards. Not that it really matters, but when you do the Florida weave though, you do want to try and make sure you keep a nice straight line as best as you can. I have some spinach up front here. And then I hope to, over tomorrow and Tuesday, get some more marigolds in here. So this is another super sweet 100, has a little bit of sun damage, but as you can see, it has some tomatoes on it. So it's still happy. Some fell off, some my son actually picked off. So the roots are coming out. I just really need to get these in. So I will loosen up the bottom, throw some bone meal in, and then I do fertilize these with some Neptune's Harvest. And then what else do I do? I can use the kind of like more fishy stuff, the fish emulsion. Oh, it's starting to rain, so I'm gonna have to turn you off, but I will show you what it looks like afterwards. And here we have it. For a quick Sunday, I was able to get some over here, some over here, and again, I will just train them to go up this cattle panel, which I highly suggest. I think it was $30 the cattle panel, and then I just put some T-posts in. Here are my other ones, which have a few tomatoes. We have some flowers. And then if we go over here, these are my sun golds that I already put in. They have so many flowers. And I don't know if you can see, if I do it this way maybe, I already started the Florida weave, which I definitely recommend. I want to show you how I do it, but basically you're just going to go forwards, backwards, and then it's just going to help keep them up straight. So these are all of my sun golds, which were huge producers last year with some spinach. So this is mostly my super sweets with a few sun golds because I had so many extra. But I'm going to keep the stakes in right now, and then I will weave them. And as you can see, I would just tape one here, tape it here, and I would just keep it upright for now. We won't be getting any rain until Wednesday. And then I have some like little spoon or mini cherries They're a little bit stretched, but I'm hoping they'll do okay. And then I only had 2 yellow pears. I started a bunch of them, some seeds from M.I. Gardner, and I had 2 barely survive. So I'm hoping that they will. I might stop and get a few more because I really enjoyed those as well. But that is just how my tomatoes are doing. And then I just have these little frames up so that way I can weave them. Last year I did Kentucky pole beans there. It was massive. Not doing that again. It was a pain to take down. So focusing on the tomatoes. And then I also have one here which will do cucumbers, but it has some radishes and so many weeds. Lots of weeds. All right, and that's wrapping up Sunday. I will see you guys on Monday. Hopefully we can get my 2 pepper beds going. Hello everyone, it is Monday and that means it's time to get our peppers in. I have so many. Am I gonna need all of them? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I actually did give some away to some colleagues, but I do have a lot. So I have 2 beds. All of my beds are gonna be 6 feet by 3 feet, and I have 2 pepper beds behind me that I already prepped. I added more worm castings and I also weeded as best as I could yesterday. And then I'm going to do, hopefully my game plan is getting 1 bed just full of bell peppers. These, I harvested them from my farm share last year and I'm super excited that they were growing very well. Some of them even have mini peppers on them. Now, I was thinking of getting rid of the little peppers and the flowers so they could focus on their roots before I plant them. We're gonna have to wait and see how much time I have. That might be something for tomorrow. My kids are on another walk. It is actually really cold. I have my lighter winter jacket on. Even though it's 60 degrees, the wind is making it feel in the lower 50s. And for me, it just feels freezing because we haven't had sun all day. So normally when planting these out, I would wait until the weather at night was in the mid 50s to at least in the 60s. But with New England weather, it doesn't look like that will be happening anytime soon. I also usually plant these after Memorial Day weekend, but next weekend is Memorial Day and I plan on finish my cut flower garden. I need to finish tilling and definitely get my dahlias in. So these are just gonna have to suck it up to some New England weather, so let's get to it. This bed right here is going to be for my farm share peppers. Those are all mostly red bell peppers. I do have a few zinnias planted in. Well, I'll see how they do. I just did these with winter sowing and I needed to find somewhere to put them. So I kind of just chucked them in. I forgot to water this morning because it was so cold. So I'm gonna give everything a good soak. As you can see, it is windy and in true New England fashion, the weather just goes from hot to cold to windy to sunny, but my tomatoes are sticking in there, which is nice. These have actually been in the greenhouse 2 weeks prior to hardening them off. They have been hardened off for actually a little bit over a week. So they are used to the different temperature dips. My greenhouse is not heated, so even if it got into the 40 degrees at night, they would still be doing fine. A lot of them are flowering. Some even have peppers on them. So I'm not too worried, even though I feel like it's going against all the rules. But with New England, you just never know what the weather is going to be like and you have to roll with it, and I am on a very strict timeline. So I am going to do 3 separate rows. I am going to be putting them a little bit closer than you probably should. I want to jam pack in as many peppers as I can. We go through a lot of peppers in my household, so I plan on hopefully getting as many farm share peppers here. And then I have some snacker peppers and some other ones, jalapenos, even though I don't even eat them. I will be growing them. They will be going over there, and I have more zinnias. So I am going to just lay them out and then start digging. Before I do plant them in, I will be using my bone meal in every single hole, and I'll give them a good water. But I did pretty good with the weeding last night, so I'm happy to have that already prepped. So all right, and we have them lined up. I have only a handful left, and yes, I know This is probably insanely too close and I will probably regret it, but I'm hoping that by putting them so close together, I won't have to stake them or do the Florida weave with them too much. I will put some little posts on the end and just weave the bottoms, but I'm hoping they'll just intertwine and make one big pepper. I might be taking the light away from what is ever in the center, so whatever's the biggest, I'm putting in the middle, and the smaller snacker peppers I'm putting on the end. We're just trying to jam pack what we have. I know it might be too much. We will find out soon, but I have my tomato beds completely filled. This is gonna be squash and zucchini. Then I have over there, I have my green beans and my cucumbers. So this is what I have left, and I might be able to put some peppers maybe over with my tomatoes. So we're gonna have to see, but this is where we're at. Kids are home, so hopefully I can start planting soon. It's still extremely windy outside, as you can see. We gave my kids a bath quick and got them to bed, and everything was knocked over. So I'm gonna get them in. So yes, I know these are super close. I was doing the math. I probably should only fit about 12 to 18 of these. We are definitely pushing the limits, but this year, you know, I'm like, heck with it. We're just gonna go big or go home. And if I find, again, if there's any issues, I will pull some out or just learn for next year. So we're gonna do this hot mess bed right here. Most of them are gonna be my farm share peppers. They are looking pretty darn good. Some of them I noticed are starting to get a little bit root bound, so that's why I'm getting them in. Again, I am definitely pushing my limits with the temperature. It's supposed to get cool one night. However, I might tarp these just for that one day where it's supposed to rain. This is one of my farm share peppers. Now I'm really sorry, it's starting to get dark out. But what I like to do is I will just squish these little pots. I got these at the Dollar Tree. Again, they were 12 for $1.25, which was great, and I've had no issues. I've taken hundreds of flowers out and they have not cracked at all. So I just squish it and then I will gently pull it out. And I mean, I'm pretty sure even without light, you can see how root bound these are. So what I'll do is I'm just gonna tease them ever so gently and just work them a little bit, and then I will put them in, and I always put bone meal. I do a little sprinkle in there, and then since it's so cool right now, I probably won't water them till the morning. The soil is actually still really damp from all the rain we have been getting. Just the top layer is kind of dry. So I'm gonna get these in and then get inside because we are losing day. And there we have it. We are wrapping up day 2. This is Monday night, and I put 48 pepper plants in 2 6x3 garden beds. Now, I know that is way too condensed. I probably should have taken 2 of these rows out, but you know what? I am just going to, I guess, live on the edge and see how it goes. But I'm super excited. I do have about 10 to 12 extra pepper plants where I'm not quite sure where I want to put them. I have some grow bags that I might just put them in. They're pretty good in these containers for maybe another week or so. So I can try and figure it out. I do have some space with some of my cherry tomatoes, so I could always put them over there and see how that goes, and move maybe my yellow pears over, or just put them in the middle. We'll have to wait and see. It might just get a little bit weird because I do the Florida weave, which again, I really need to show you how I do it. Hopefully maybe tomorrow. I do need to stake some of these tomatoes. So far we are on day 2 of 3 of trying to get the garden together before we have the rain coming in. So stay tuned for day 3. I actually don't know what I plan on doing quite yet. I do have some more weeding, and I really need to get some direct sowing in, or maybe some of my sunflowers. So I will see you guys all tomorrow. Hey everyone, today is Wednesday and we are in Operation Save the Peppers. We actually have over an inch of rain coming in tomorrow and it's going to be in the 40s. So I actually got off of our Buy Nothing group these really cool trellises, and I tried getting 4 medium-sized ones. I put them in the center of the bed, and then I'm going to put a tarp and twine to hopefully keep them nice and dry as the rain comes. Here is the finished product. I think this will do just fine, keeping them dry, especially with the tops having so much support. It'll have minimal puddling, so hopefully I have my tomatoes. Those will survive the rain. Good morning, everyone. It is now Friday, and we need to take these tarps off. As you can see, they puddled with a lot of water, and I already emptied them out last night before going to bed, and they filled up. We had so much rain. Let's go see how much we actually got in our Thursday. So it looks like we got over an inch of rain, maybe about an inch and a half, and that was starting from Wednesday night to Friday morning, and we're actually supposed to get a little period of rain today, and then it should start warming up tomorrow. The tomatoes held up pretty well, which I am very thankful for. Hopefully today they will dry out. It's going to be still super cold though, but it looks like the sun might actually try and come out today. We had no sun in the forecast, so these are completely filled, but I am just so thankful that they held up. So let's get them off before we have to go to work today. It looks like everything stayed nice and happy and cozy under there. My hands are freezing. The water is just so cold. It's still supposed to be in the mid-50s today. It said overcast, but I really think the sun might actually peek out. So I am hoping that they will just be able to get nice and warm. It's supposed to reach the 60s for the next 2 days, and then we'll be hitting the 70s come Memorial Day. After that, it'll be in the 70s and finally getting up into the 80s. So everything should be taking off. So peppers are going to be happy right now, I hope. And yeah, that's going to conclude everything that I needed to get done with the tomatoes and peppers. I still have a lot of planting to do. We'll be doing a lot of direct sowing this weekend with squash, zucchinis, cucumbers, sunflowers. So if you would like to stay tuned and see what's happening in the vegetable garden, the perennial garden, and even my cut flower garden, go ahead and click like and subscribe and hit that bell button, and I will see you all next time. Happy gardening. Bye.